actually throwing the football. You're just posing.
Nah, I was posing.
So wait,
That's
no,
funny.
I wanna see this. Alex, you're a lefty, right?
Yeah, I'm a lefty. Yeah, it's weird.
So why is like, if you look at the orientation of this picture, you should be throwing it like the other way.
Chill, man.
He's throwing it like a righty.
Don't
Yo,
expose me like that.
expose. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Legendary Podcast, episode, what is this? 9? Episode 9. I'm here today with Mr. Alex Phan.
Hello.
And,
Thanks for inviting me.
yeah, and Chandra Bhattacharya.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. I just worked out and I'm glad to be here.
Nice. Chandra,
Alex,
you feeling good?
he's been so much more productive than me. I've been up for like 10 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm with Chandra. So, Alex, what have you been doing over the coronacation? Yeah, it's been
Coronacation. Really,
2 weeks.
I really haven't been, playing games recently. I've been doing a lot of things. So, that I started a YouTube channel because, I wanted to keep myself company. And I've also read a couple books, some business books. And I recently just got some gym equipment also because, this coronacation is going to last a long time.
What kind of gym equipment did you get?
I got a squat rack, and it was really hard to get. And all the plates, and the bar, and it did cost a decent amount of money, but my family is willing to invest. Fitness is the best investment you can make towards yourself, and I'm glad I could do that.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, cause I started going to 24-hour, like the same gym as Alex,
Yep.
and one thing I noticed about him is like not just him, but his entire family prioritizes fitness. Like, his mom's always at the gym too. Of course, his brother Will's always there. So it's like, for your family, I think like a fitness investment, like a squat rack, it is expensive, but for a family like yours that prioritizes their fitness, and just well-being like that, I think it's a good investment for you guys.
Yeah, it's a good thing because it can help you in the long run. Health is really important to you, and hopefully the work ethic you bring along with the gym can work with everything else, because how you work with one thing is how you work with everything.
That's nice. So, like, if people don't know, you're kind of an early bird, right? Like, you wake up really early.
Yeah,
you work out.
I try my best. Sometimes it doesn't work out well, but if I don't wake up early, I kind of feel guilty. It's kind of like that self-discipline thing I'm gonna talk about later in my next video, but it's just really hard sometimes, and sometimes you just gotta set your schedule, set your alarm for when you go to sleep, and set your alarm for when you wake up. And therefore, that's how I find myself to be more productive that way.
Yeah. So, like, what are some of the I know you said that you could be more productive, but do you find like a lot of advantages from waking up early that like you didn't have when you were kind of like waking up normally?
Yeah, definitely. When I was in high school, or I'm still in high school, but when I woke up early, when I woke up early before school, I usually have time to think about my overall life and how I could just improve myself overall, and not just education wise, but just what I want to do in the future, my career, and it's just a good time to think.
I respect that. So, like, kind of like with your daily schedule or whatever, like from the moment you wake up to kind of when you go to bed, what's like your daily routine?
Right now, I wake up early as I can, and I try to sleep as early as I can. So I wake up early and I go straight to making my breakfast. Usually, it's like a PB&J or like some coffee, and then I take some pre-workout, do my exercises, and I have a schedule for when I exercise. And then usually after I work out, I head straight to a cold shower, and after my cold shower, I just go to my room and I try to like turn off everything, and I kind of study for my certification. And certification is for what I want to do in my career is I want to become a financial advisor, and I want to help advise people on what to invest in. And so certifications are pretty important to me. and that's what I'm trying to invest in right now. So when I'm 18, I can take the test and get certified and, help people along the way. And usually I also have YouTube on the side. So I start, after an hour of studying for my certification, I just start editing. And it's just something I'm passionate about. So that's why I decided to do some YouTube, just keep myself company. And then I usually eat a lot. I eat about, usually when I eat, I used to be bulking. So I was eating like 3,500 calories. And now I'm cutting. So I'm eating about like 2,400 and I'm trying to decrease it down to about 2,100. And after I usually eat, I go back to my room, just continue just doing YouTube, researching how to edit, whatever. I'm still learning. And then when when it's like 7 o'clock, I start to unwind. And then, I read my books. And then usually at that time, I usually go to sleep.
Mm. That sounds awesome. Sounds like you have like a full day to kind of like better yourself.
Just try my best to keep myself company. That's the best thing I could do right now.
Yeah. So I know like I've heard a lot about like the cold showers, but personally I never like got accustomed to them.
It's really hard. It was really hard at first, but you get used to it. So when I was back when we were all going to school, before school, after I worked out, I started taking cold showers, and that's kind of what got me like staying awake throughout the whole day because it kind of gets your blood flowing. And when you jump in, you get so hyped. It's a weird feeling, but when I get out, I feel pretty good about myself. I feel refreshed and everything. It's like a new start to the day.
It kind of like shocks you, wakes you up a little bit.
Exactly.
Gets all that morning drowsiness out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever like listen to music in the shower, or is it all just kind of like silent?
Yeah. Dude, I have to hype myself up to get in the shower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I turn up some bangers or whatever it is.
What are some like go-to songs that you're listening to right now in the shower?
I usually listen to Lil Uzi.
Yeah.
Songs. Some Travis Scott, and not gonna lie, I listen to some Dua Lipa as well. She's a pretty good artist in my opinion.
He's a man with many sides. You can see this his music taste.
Sure.
All right, nice. So when we talk about like kind of like the fitness goals they have for like yourself and your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know what you're doing. Do you ever try to like for your schedule kind of do the push-pull days?
Yeah. So I set myself push-pull legs.
Mm-hmm.
And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I do push-pull legs, and I skip one day, which is probably Wednesday, and then I start the cycle over again, push-pull legs.
Push-pull legs?
But sometimes the schedule doesn't work. I have some things that pop up randomly. So, if things don't work out, I can always continue the schedule, act like nothing happened, and then, that's how I keep myself in shape throughout the week.
That's cool. And then do you like kind of integrate core every day, or?
I try to do core as part of my workout. I mean, a lot of the workouts we do, you have to embrace the core anyways. But since I'm cutting, I try to focus on doing some abs at the end of my workout or before my workout every single day. And it's just to strengthen your core, and it helps you with your posture and everything. So it's not a bad thing.
What do you do for cardio? Because I know Chandra was talking about like jump roping.
Cardio. Yeah. So basically, I don't really do cardio that much, but when I do, it's probably on my rest days. And usually when I do cardio, it's like high intensity interval. And so I would usually get on the treadmill, do like 4 minutes of running at a high heart rate, and then 4 minutes of just walking at a low heart rate. And I just do like 4 rounds of that. It'll probably be like 30 or 40 minutes. And I'll probably burn like 500 calories right there and just move on with my day. It's kind of easy.
Well, for your cut, you're more focused on like a lower calorie intake than
yeah. I mean, honestly, I just hate cardio, and so I'm just trying to make things as easy as possible. So just eating less and just making sure I get my protein in and maintaining that muscle is it's easiest for me. So
yeah, I've heard a lot of things about like if you really want to get in shape, it is exercise, but like the majority of it is like your diet,
Yeah,
not
so
like what
it's
you're eating.
yeah, so to me, abs are made in the gym but revealed in the kitchen. And so
Mm,
for me, I cook my own foods, and not gonna lie, I make some fire chicken, and
mm,
I do a lot of research on how to cook, and I help my mom with some groceries at sometimes, and it's just once you get in the moment and once you get used to it, it gets easier down the road. But always, the hardest part is always just starting off.
yeah. How'd you get into cooking? Did you like watch like a YouTube channel, a video, some kind of recipe?
I forgot some. I know I forgot some YouTubers. Let me look them up. But those there's a lot of YouTubers that help me learn how to cook.
Mm,
And usually I usually learn everything on YouTube. And it's just a helpful way to, internet is just a good resource these days, but you got to know what to look for. So, for example, like YouTubers like Mike Thurston, they always give tips. Steve Cook, Patty Lifts, or uh, it's not. I don't really pay attention to people like David Late or Dylan McKenna because
mm,
those
Oh yeah, yeah.
people are kind of controversial. But always trust people that have the resources provided, and they provide evidence. And I learned from those people, and those people helped me out along the way to what I want to be in the future and what I want to look like and how to stay in shape. So yeah.
So
mm,
like for high schoolers, like I can't speak for Jason, but for me, who might have limited cooking skills, what's a meal or a few meals that we can make, to try and stay in shape. High protein, not too much fats, or at least if it has
Oh
fats, there's
yeah.
good fats. Stuff like that.
So definitely chicken tenderloins. Like those things they have no fat at all. But for me, I put like coconut oil just to make it taste a little bit better. And chicken breast is probably it's I think it's pretty cheap, and you can probably find it anywhere else. So that's a good source of protein. They provide a lot. And for me, also, I usually get beef that's like 90% lean, 96% lean, and 4% fat. Those have a
Okay.
lot of protein too, and not much fat at all. And so, also yogurt. Yogurt has a lot of protein. You can eat a lot of that.
Yogurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could just get like plain yogurt with agave and put that on, and it'll taste pretty sweet. Or you
mm,
can just get like Chobani or Yoplait, whatever it is. But I've seen a lot of when I was at the gym. I saw a lot of elders, and one of them was really lean. And I asked him how he was able to stay and maintain in this shape, and he said he just ate a lot of yogurt. So I feel like I feel like it doesn't have to be protein powders and protein bars, because sometimes those protein powders can have a lot of fat too, and as well as those protein shakes. Those protein shakes have chemicals. So usually when I try to eat protein, I try to eat it uh, in its physical like form, like chicken or like in animals.
You try to get it in with your meals, so you don't have to
Yeah,
run
yeah. So it
supplements.
just fills you
Yeah,
up
yeah.
more too. But the reason why protein powder or protein shakes are made is because it's convenient and it's easy to digest. So unless you want to like unless you don't have time, I think just eating it is better. It will fill you up more, and you'll get the protein better that way.
mm. Interesting.
Mhm.
So like when you have your PB and J in the morning, right? Like I
Oh
know
yeah,
I love peanut butter,
yeah,
but I've heard like some things that you kind of want to like stay away from saturated fat.
yeah.
Um,
That's true.
but it's
That's
okay to like
true.
have unsaturated fat, right? So like,
Yeah, well, for me, I just focus on proteins, carbs, and fat. I don't really focus on the really specifics because I
mhm,
like to keep things simple. So all I do is track my macros, like the three main components, and make sure I just get those every single day.
mm,
If I get way too worried about saturated fat or like sodium or sugar, my mind will just go crazy. So just
mm.
in the long run, I think it's easier to sustain if you just know what you're eating and not to get too overwhelmed by it.
Yeah. So like to know what you're eating, do you kind of like log it or?
Yeah, I do log it. I logged every single day, and when I first started off, after my bulk, it was pretty hard. But now I just get so used to it, and once you start logging for a long time, you can just pretty much eyeball things and see how much is this amount, that amount, and then you'll get in the rhythm, and that's how it works.
Mhm.
So when you were transitioning from your bulk to your cut, I mean, I know you're still in your cut. So do you keep like do you keep I know you definitely decrease your macros. So do you keep your protein intake about the same and then just decrease the fats and carbs, or?
Yeah, so my protein intake is probably about let's say 162 163 grams of protein, because that's pretty much how much I weigh right now at the moment. And usually when you have protein, you have to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So like 1 pound, it equal 1 gram of protein. So I would probably eat about at least 162 grams of protein per day. And usually, tracking macros is all trial and error. Usually when you start off, when I first started off, I tracked everything I ate for a week, just like normal. And then when I actually started cutting, I I knew how much exactly I was eating, so I decreased by a certain amount, like 400, 500 calories, and then I calculated my macros that way as well. And I know a lot of people, they make a mistake of just using like a macro calculator, but that's very general, and sometimes it's hard to be precise about what you're eating. So I think the best way is just to do it through trial and error.
Mhm. So like for you, right, when you're kind of thinking about the macros or like the proteins that you want to take in, you also have to consider like the vitamins and minerals, right? So like I know.
Yeah, definitely keep it in the back of your head. But for me, I just usually eat vitamin gummies, or just try to drink some juice throughout the day, and get the sunlight as well. But usually I don't try to stress over it.
Mm. Have you ever tried like a green smoothie?
A green smoothie, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've tried it, and I'm not a fan. But like, I make my own smoothie sometimes. Like, if I don't feel like eating as much, I would just make a smoothie with some frozen berries, a banana, 2 scoops of protein, and an almond milk, and I would just mix it up, drink it, and then I would go, straight back to work, because sometimes time is there's not enough time in my day, and I don't feel like eating as much. So I just get that down, get the smoothie down, and it'll fill you up pretty quick, because that's a lot in the smoothie. So
Mm. What's like one misconception that you would say like a lot of people do when they're trying to like stay fit?
one misconception. Well, a lot of people, they train. Let's say, they train like one body part a week, and let's say they only train like biceps one day, and they do biceps just one time throughout the whole week. I think a lot of people, they have a misconception of just doing like chest on one day, and then they do like biceps on another day, or they just do triceps on another day. I think it's good to do each body part at least 2 times a week, because that would just maintain your overall form. And a good circuit is about push pull legs. And even if you can't do workout like 6 times a week, you can always do 4 times a week with upper body, lower body. And you just got to mix it up and make sure you train each body part 2 times a week, and just don't isolate yourself for each body part.
Yeah. So like for sports, right? Because you had like a swimming career, you did some basketball.
Yeah.
How does kind of being like a student athlete work into your kind of like staying fitness kind of schedule? Because you have less time to kind of do those like.
Swimming throughout my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Swimming was very intense for me. I was going to In the summer, I would go to practice at 4 in the morning and end at 7. And then during the school year, I would leave in my junior year, I think I would leave a class early just to practice from 2 to 5, and it was really tough. So I really lost interest in the sport because it kind of like mentally hurt me. And but the self discipline was still there. I still wanted to have that self discipline, and I still wanted to stay committed somehow. And so I think doing a sport is it's just very good for you, and you learned a lot from it. But you got to learn how to translate that into your work ethic as well. So for swimming, I was at practice almost every single day. And when I quit the sport, I felt pretty guilty. I was in a time of guilt. And then I realized, what should I do to translate this work ethic I've had? And so I went to the gym. And when I went to the gym, I had no idea what I was doing. And people were looking at me like crazy, judging me. But there came to a point where I just didn't care. And what I did, honestly, was I came up to people that looked pretty good working out. And I was like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And, it was weird at first, but I made a lot of friends along the way. And pretty much everyone at the gym knows me because of that. And, I'm glad I've been able to go through this experience. And honestly, this haven't been done if I didn't do the sport of swimming.
Yeah, I remember like the first time that you kind of started your fitness. I don't know if it was like Instagram or YouTube, or something, but
fun.
Yeah, you're just kind of like going off, in the weight room, doing legs, doing arms. Was that kind of the big transition that you had after swimming?
Yeah, that was honestly when I first started the channel. I just wanted to do it for fun, and I had people like Sean Joy help me out, and it was just a fun thing to do, just something to try out. And also, it was one of my first times just trying to learn to edit. So I think everything, it comes with a great experience, and it doesn't it can be fun. It can be your passion. So.
So like for people who are trying to figure out, like they want to join a gym, right? Like over the summer.
Yeah.
I think I joined a gym like the summer of my junior year. But like if let's say like I'm trying to like go to the gym but I don't know which one to pick, like what would be your kind of recommendation?
Well, make sure you have a gym that has squat racks, obviously, a bench. You don't want to have equipment that's rusty, and you got to make sure the gym has good vibes. I know Chandra and we go to a gym that has a good environment, and everyone's kind to each other, even the elders. And usually if there comes to a fight, it would always get resolved, and that's what you want to find in the gym, a good vibe.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Like, I joined 24-hour kind of late. I think it was around the summer after my sophomore year, which late in terms of like the other people from our school who go there, Alex and your brother as well, and a few other people, Jason Badger. They've been going for a little while before, but like as soon as I started going, you can see how like the older people there were kind of trying to be mentors for the younger people.
Yeah.
Just like Alex said, he learned how to do a lot of the stuff by asking the experienced lifters. And what I really like about it is that like people are willing to give their advice. Or even if I go in and I'm a pretty big nerd, so I was wearing like a Capital One shirt I got from a hackathon once, and this dude just came up to me and started like talking to me about it because he didn't work at Capital One, but he was a computer science major in college at VTech. So we talked about that, and he's just like a really nice guy, and that's not uncommon at our gym. I mean, people are really nice. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they might look intimidating, but once you approach them or once they come up to you, it's like nothing ever happened. They look completely fine. So it doesn't hurt to try to come up to ask people or anything.
Yeah. So I want to talk about your YouTube channel a little bit because I remember like with your first post, I checked it in the morning. It had like 7 views, and then before I went to bed, it was like 500, 600 or something. I was like, holy crap. So obviously, like,
yeah. So my YouTube channel, obviously, I'm doing this for fun as well. I'm not getting paid or anything for it because copyright ID, whatever it is. But I just love video editing, and I just love giving value to people. So that's why I made the YouTube channel, and plus I can keep myself company. It doesn't hurt to make one, and there's nothing that's bad that comes along with it. Only experience.
What kind of editing software do you use? Because like you have like a lot of good edits and like shots.
Yeah, so I use something called Final Cut Pro, and there's not much you can do with it, but right now at the moment it's what I could do with the money that I have, and it's kind of an investment you have to make towards yourself, but over time you'll learn the skills. And I've also started learning Adobe, which a lot of my friends, I think a lot of my friends should start learning. Like Johnny is a good friend of mine, and I hopefully he can hear this podcast and learn that Final Cut or Adobe would be a great opportunity for him to start editing.
Is that Adobe Premiere Pro?
Yeah, I mean I'm using Final Cut, but once I get to a certain point, I'll probably learn Adobe Premiere Pro. And I've used it before. It looks intimidating at first, but I think I'll get used to it pretty easily. And I'm also using Lightroom and Photoshop, and those have a plan. But I argued with Adobe staff for some kind of discount or anything, and they gave me 3 months off for free. So good opportunity to take.
Okay. Do you know if they have like a student discount or anything?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I think it's like 40% off or something.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good, especially when you go to college. I mean, I think everyone should take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like to be able to post the music, like I think you had like a Khalid song in there. Do you need like a license for that, or how are you able to?
No. So I think YouTube right now, YouTube is kind of stupid with music, but YouTube right now, if you put a song that's by an artist and they license it, you can get copyright ID. So you can post any song you want, but you just won't get paid for it. They'll monetize it, but for themselves.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So like they won't like take it down or anything for you.
No, they won't take it down. I mean, maybe for some songs, if you search up a certain song and the only results that come out is from the artist, then you shouldn't put that up. But if you search a song up like Lil Uzi, for example, and a bunch of other YouTubers post a song like that, you can probably use it.
Yeah, it's like the reaction channels and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's probably safer then.
Yeah.
Also, I think specific record label or individual record labels can strike videos. Like if someone if an artist signs under a label, the label has the rights to their music, which means like if you want to post a video, you kind of have to go through the label first.
Yeah. So they if you put a song by them, they make the decisions for everything. They can make a decision to strike it or monetize it, whatever it is. But some artists want you to share their music, but they'll still get paid for it, not you. So it's all in the artist now, because artists are trying to find ways to make more money nowadays, since albums, like hardcover albums, aren't being sold. Now, so that's how it is now.
So for the people that don't know, your first episode, you kind of talked a little bit about like high school and the coronavirus break, and you gave some recommendations for like what people could do to like, spend their time more wisely. Yep. So for your channel overall, right? Like, how big do you think you can make your channel in this much time?
Hopefully, I can. I'll try really hard in it, but it's just something I love to do. I don't care, what anyone thinks about it, but I just, if I can get 100 subscribers, I'll be happy. If I can get, as many as I can, but I'm not having any expectations. I'm only having, my friends being proud, and my family. I don't know how, but my family found out about my YouTube channel. I didn't want to tell them about it until after it did well. But when they saw it, they were pretty proud. So that's a good thing to know. But I just want to work hard until it pays off. And things are. Like I said earlier, the hardest part is just starting off. But I love to do this. So it doesn't matter if I do well or not. But it's just a passion.
Mm-hmm. Like I know it's like a passion for you, and like you just want to have fun with it. Mm-hmm. But like with the number of like views that you get, and kind of like the number of people kind of like watching you now, I think they're like expecting for you to have like more content. So What do you
Yeah.
think you would kind of want the channel to like have in terms of like its direction? Like more
I
fitness
think,
based or motivation?
like, of course, I'll include fitness or motivation, but basically, I want the focus to be around self development. So just like investing in yourself or talking about what you could do to help yourself. And that's what I want to do. I want to give value. I don't want to just entertain people. But
Mhm.
of course, like editing and all that can make people happy. But I think giving something informative is important.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I know in your YouTube channel you talked a little bit about like some books that you've read and they've kind of like given you a chance to like see like kind of who you are as a person. So how did that kind of habit develop where you kind of just like
Oh, the habit.
trying to yeah.
Usually, well, I got a lot of inspiration from my dad, and he's read a lot of books in his career as well. And so he recommended me some of those books, and I've been reading a lot of them. And the book right now I'm reading is called Breakthrough Business Development, and it's how you can explain your client, expand your clients, and create good connections. And that's what I want to do growing up as well. I want to follow my dad's footsteps. So doing exactly what he's telling me to do, and taking everything for a grain of salt it's just something that will direct me in the right path. And I think spending that time just reading these books is great. And not only that, like I said in the video, there's podcasts and there's YouTube videos, and you got to surround yourself with something good, something that can help you along the way. I think that's very important.
hmm I think everybody needs some kind of knowledge in their life
Yeah.
to be consistent.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about kind of like what you want to do like in the future, right? Like you said, you want to be like a financial advisor, do something in the business world.
Yeah.
How did you kind of get into that?
Yeah. So my dad, growing up, he was an immigrant from Vietnam, and he came here by himself when he was 13 without anyone else as a family, and he only had like $60 in his pocket. So he's told me all about his childhood growing up and in his stories, and they were brutal. Not kidding, they were brutal. And I was just so inspired by that. Uh, my dad is always a good role model, and since he grew up being a financial advisor, and he's now a general agent taking over the whole this area, Virginia and DC. I think it's just a good inspiration and motivates me to be follow his footsteps. And one day, I just hope that I can reach his level or surpass it one day. It's just a goal of mine.
That's great. So, kind of like with what you're studying, I know like I heard that you're kind of into the stock market a little bit, but like
Yeah.
if you want to be like a financial advisor, like a lot of people have their money in the stocks. So is that something that you've been kind of like trying to learn
Yeah.
along the way?
Yeah, of course. So the certifications I'm studying for, it's basically on the market and like what to advise people. For example, like bonds or mutual funds, whatever it is. And I think just studying for that is just good for my career. But not only that, it's good to inform people about what I'm studying as well, because I can have people invest their money and then get a good return on investment. So I think that's a good goal of mine to achieve and help others out.
Yeah. Do you think you'd be like kind of willing to make a video about that if you learn a lot?
Yeah,
Kinda-
definitely.
yeah.
I've seen other YouTubers do it as well, but I think I still need to learn, and I would only help people on this kind of topic if I fully get a grasp of it. I don't want to just not be confident in what I'm teaching. So I think that's the best way to do it.
Do you feel like you got a good education from kind of like econ and that kind of stuff? Did you take entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I did take entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurship in school is kind of like a joke. I mean, like the teachers never been there before. I mean, no offense to the teachers, but like obviously they've never been in that situation of being an entrepreneur. And same as the econ teachers, they're great they're great at knowing the information, but sometimes it's hard to execute. And I think that's the misconception about all the information you take. It's good to take in information, but it's harder to execute. And I think that a lot of people don't know that.
Mm.
So with all the stuff going on right now, of course the economy is definitely affected by it.
Mhm.
Is this a good time to invest in stocks, or what is your opinion on that?
Yeah, well, it's very hard to tell because you never know when if there's a vaccine that comes up, everyone's just going to start dumping in money into the market, and the market will just go straight back up. So I think that you just got to constantly look at the market, see how it's doing, and you got to be updated with current events. And right now, I haven't been really doing that. I've been just studying for my certification so far, but usually, if you really want to get started in investing, I think you should just constantly look at the market and just see what's up, because anything could happen out of the blue. For example, this coronavirus outbreak, no one knew about this, that it would make a huge impact, and now look where it's at. So, yeah.
When would you recommend for people like us to kind of get involved in the stock market? Because like I know my parents said that I shouldn't do it until like I get like a credit card or a stable job, and it's kind of dangerous, right? Because you could lose a lot of money. Like, when do you think it'd be a good idea to invest in that?
I mean, I know there's a lot of people that started at a young age, like 13, with a custodial account. But it's good to learn about the market anytime of your life. So when I turn 18, I'm definitely gonna make an account and start investing right away. And that's just my opinion. It's good to start young, because you can start investing just little by little. You don't have to invest a lot, but it's a good experience just to invest and learn how it compounds over time. Because if you invest right now, I bet you way down along the road, you have a large return on your investment. So it's good to start early.
Mm. So aside from kind of like the fitness life and the things that you've been doing with your certification, what have been some like kind of new things that you're trying to learn with all this time that you have? Because like for me, I've been trying to get into fishing a little bit. I bought like a fishing rod, and I want to like I don't know, just do something for fun, right? Like, what are some things that you've been trying to do at home?
Well, obviously I've been trying to be as productive as I can when I'm at home, and for me, I'm just trying to avoid getting too distracted. And sometimes for me, I watch like some K-drama or like some Netflix, and I realized that really took a toll on me. So, when I wake up in the morning, I had time to reflect on what I did wrong and how I should use my time wisely. And that's something I've really been trying to execute during this time at home. And it's been hard, but I think it's a good learning experience.
So you're just trying to like practice more discipline.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Even with ironically, like the more time that you have, you're trying to like discipline yourself more. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, people should take advantage of it this time. You never know who would come out greater or have a bigger impact after this outbreak.
Yeah. I know Chandra and I have been watching some Haunted Hill House.
Basically, it's just like, it sucks being quarantined inside, not being able to see all of our friends and stuff. So we're trying like whatever we can, try and see our friends, or hang out, try and make it seem normal. So we just found a application called Netflix Party, which just lets a bunch of people watch one show at the same time.
I never knew that. I should be.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah, but it's pretty neat, and especially for like what's going on right now, it's like it's the only way that we've basically been able to stay in touch with each other. Or I think it's just like a fun way during this time to let everything go away and just watch a movie with your boys.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think technology has evolved, and that we can all use this to advantage at home, and it's a lot easier to stay at home nowadays than back then, because now technology can help us connect with everyone around the world.
Right, yeah.
So Alex, I know that you're kind of like a very self-disciplined person. Have you ever thought about kind of like meditating? Or taking some time to, like...
Honestly, I did do it in the past. I've done it a lot, and it's really good. I think it helps relaxes your body, and sometimes I do it when I first wake up, but now I haven't been doing it. And now that you told me about it, I think I should be doing it now. I think it's a good thing to do, and it really helps you get your day started. So
Yeah. Like, how long do you think is a good time to meditate? I know my mom teaches like a class for it, and they do like 10 minutes or something.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like when I was starting out, I do it for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and since I have so much time now, I probably should start getting to it. Probably do it the same amount of time, and
Yeah.
just you don't need to take too much time off of it for it. But I think taking some time off and just relaxing your body and thinking, it's a good thing to do.
hmm Have you tried to kind of like reflect on your high school career? Because I don't know, I've been kind of like looking through like photos, photo albums, that kind of thing.
Oh
I
my.
don't know, just trying to reflect on like the time that I've had.
Yeah. Well, I think high school is something everyone it's something everyone is going through right now. So, being able because we're so impacted by this coronavirus outbreak, and we're seniors in high school, I think it's gonna be so cool down the road when we have when our generations passed on, they'll ask us about this time. And I think it's a unique experience for us because we're the only ones in history that's been going through this coronavirus thing.
What do you think is kind of like the best thing for guys like us to do right now? Because like I know like the news have been talking a lot about the social distancing thing, keeping 6 feet. Have you been trying to do that at home?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been going out at all, basically. And I think sometimes you can get too overwhelmed by the media. And so just try to entertain yourself as much as you can, keep yourself company, and just try not to sit in bed all day. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you. And try to if you go to the supermarket, it's hard, I know, to find certain foods or whatever it is, but try to stay healthy. And do you guys, I don't know why, but do you guys know why toilet paper is out?
People are just like worried they're gonna have to stay home. Like they're worried that the government or someone or the conditions are gonna get so bad that they have to just stay home and they just can't go out at all, I think. And they're like, oh, priorities, I can't wipe my butt, so I need to get toilet paper.
Yeah, there are a lot of hoarders.
It's kind of, yeah, it's really bad seeing that because the people who actually need supplies can't get them because some dude over there is holding 600 rolls of toilet paper in his house.
Yeah, people do anything.
Mhm.
It kind of brings out, when you get into times like these, it brings out the best and the worst in society. You see so many people, especially like celebrities or YouTubers, come out and try and raise money, fundraising, donating meals to food banks and all this stuff, which is great. And it's really good to see people helping each other out. But then you also see the dark side of it, which is when people get really, really selfish. And it makes sense that they are caring for themselves, but like it gets to a point where you have enough resources, but you're taking stuff from people who really need them. That's just people having like a selfish mentality, and it's going a little bit too far.
Right.
Yeah, my mom always said that kind of like in situations like these, you show your true colors and like who you are as a person.
It's true.
So yeah, it's a good way to see kind of like who you really are.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Alex, I remember from your first episode or your video, you talked a little bit about calling your grandparents, and that was kind of like a good experience for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so my grandparents, they get really paranoid about anything because they watch the news constantly, and sometimes like they keep warning me about certain things. For example, like if you walk outside by yourself, you're like, oh, you can get kidnapped, and they're very caring. And so with this coronavirus, I can't imagine what they're thinking at this moment. They're probably really paranoid, and so they don't even want my parents to visit them because they're really scared about this virus thing going on. And so I think just calling them, making a quick phone call, or just having a conversation is just a good thing to do. And for them, they don't speak English very well, so I try my best to speak Vietnamese, my own language, my heritage language, to them. And it doesn't matter if I speak well or not, but it just makes them happy and it makes their day. So that's the best I could do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people should try to reach out to, their loved ones, people that they wouldn't normally talk to during this time.
Yeah.
Because it can be lonely, staying at
Yeah.
home for such a long time.
Hmm.
But yeah. So, let me think. Think of a good question here. Have you been shopping for clothes recently? Because I've seen like a lot of discounts online.
Oh, no, I haven't, but I probably should take advantage of that. What are they selling right now? Do you know?
I shop a lot at like Hollister. So,
Hollister.
like pants that normally go for like 50 are going for like $16.95 or something.
Dang.
It's like
I gotta get
really,
looking at that too.
really big discounts.
Yeah.
But like, Alex, for you, like, what's your biggest kind of store that you shop at? Or are you not
Honestly, I don't really shop much, but my mom does, and she always finds a way to find some kind of discount. So I think she'll probably take advantage of like Lululemon or something, because it's a good brand.
Mm.
An expensive brand, so if they have something going on, it's
Yeah.
that's a good coupon or whatever to take advantage of.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know about us. I don't know how much Lulu you guys be wearing, but if someone out there listening does wear it, go take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Mm. What do you think are like kind of the people that are most impacted by the virus so far? Like, I know like a lot of the Chinese stores are kind of like shutting down, and they've been like really upset about their business.
Yeah. Definitely. Asian Americans, I think, really impacted. And I know my friend that goes to the gym as well, but his mom owns a Chinese restaurant, and his mom recently had to shut down her restaurant because of this outbreak. So I really feel bad for those people, and just for me, all I did was I try to comfort them as best I can, because there's nothing else I could do, and all you got to do is just give them the best give them the best motivation you can, and I mean that's the best impact you can make towards them.
Mm. It's hard to think about, but kind of like if you're in their situation, like you own a business or a restaurant or that kind of thing, like what are you supposed to do when the coronavirus or like this kind of immediate crisis kind of shows up? Because a lot of people are kind of taking it not well, and there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of panicking.
Yeah.
Like how are you able to kind of deal with that as like a business owner, do you think?
I think a lot of business owners, they'll realize how important it is to save money, because I know in the market, a lot of people before this outbreak, a lot of people were just spending their money like crazy. So now at this moment, everyone's just gonna find ways to conserve money, and this is another recession we're gonna go through. So I think this is an important life lesson for everyone, and I think along with bad things comes good things. So. This is hopefully something we can all learn.
Yeah, definitely. So you have a brother, Will, right?
Yeah, my twin brother.
I guess like twin. Oh, you twin brothers.
Yeah.
What are the two types of? There's like identical, and then.
Yeah. So my brother and I are identical, and usually, the other pair of twins, Kathy and Kelly, in high school, they probably love, being identical and sharing the same things. But for my brother and I, we just hate being the same. We don't want to be the same. We have a lot of competition going on, and to me, we just don't like being twins. So sometimes.
Do you have any fun stories about like someone getting your name wrong or not knowing?
Yeah, like remember Andy? Like he was like, he probably like he was like, hey Will, or hey Alex, and we both turned around because.
It's so funny.
We got used to it. We got used to people calling us by different Will or Alex. So whatever.
We used to mess with him that way. Last year, during lunch, Alex and Will were both in our lunch. I was with Andy at this time, and so Alex and Will were walking right next to each other, and Andy was just like, "Hey Alex," and then they both turned around. And honestly, looking back at it, it's not really that funny. But back then, we thought it was like the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah,
so we started laughing.
We got used to it, so it didn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like to people that don't know the difference between you guys, what would you say is kind of like the biggest thing that separates you from him?
I mean, you'll get used to it over time, and like when we talk, it might be different. But I think maybe hairstyle. He likes his hair a little longer. I like my hair a little shorter, I guess. Or maybe the shoes you look at. The shoes, different colors. I don't know. It's tough.
Literally, you guys look like exactly the same. When I first met you guys, because I met like both of you basically around the same time.
Yeah.
It was so hard for me to tell the difference. But I mean, this year, of course,
Definitely,
having you in a few of my classes, I had you in a few classes. I had Will in one of my classes too. So like, I got to see the differences. So it's not that hard. But like,
Yeah.
you guys wear the same clothes, basically. Same sweatshirts. Sometimes like different colors, but brands and stuff are all the same. So
Definitely a
it's
struggle.
basically
Like
identical.
it's definitely a struggle. Like sometimes when I change, like in the morning, I have my clothes set up, and I would change, and then I come out of my room, and then I see Will changing to the same clothes as me, and so I get so frustrated. I go back in my room and I start changing to something else. Like that's something like I get so like pissed off at. But I guess it's the struggle of being a twin.
You guys ever think of like, doing the twin switch? Like you take Will switch.
Everyone asks me that, and I've never thought about doing it, and but I think it would be a good idea to do it one day.
I have to try that out. I mean, I wish we had like our school year because, once classes started getting a little less strenuous,
Yeah.
I would have totally said go for it. That would have been hilarious. But there's gonna be other times for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What has been one of your most favorite classes so far?
Definitely senior sem, because I switched into that class in the beginning of the year because I knew a lot of my friends were in it, and I wanted to have a good time my senior year, but also be focused. So going to senior sem with Sean Joy and all my other friends was a good decision I made.
You were the T5 period, right?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Interesting class. Teachers, shout out Mr. Tiller, but he starts a lot of conversations in class. The one thing I did like about it though is like, we kind of strayed from the curriculum a little bit. Like until the end of the year, he didn't really lecture that much, which hurt a little bit on tests because we didn't know the material as well. But we did have a lot of conversations in class, and I feel like those were a little like in the long run, those are probably a little more valuable. Having conversations about like a different opinions or how a certain bill or law really changed the course of history. They're pretty cool conversations.
Yeah,
and Mr. Tiller
cool.
So
yeah.
So since we're probably not going to go back, what's like one thing or a teacher that you're going to miss the most from high school?
That's a tough one. I like Mr. Kaplan. He's pretty chill. He's really chill, and he helped me along the way. I was starting a club called Oakton Teams for Wounded Soldiers, and all we did was donate a bunch of stuff for soldiers that are serving our country, and he was able to volunteer and help us be a sponsor. So yeah.
What about you, Chandra? What are you gonna miss the most?
For me, what I'm gonna miss the most about high school is, if I'm just the one thing I'm gonna miss the most is gonna be like the friends, dude. Like, cause we're not gonna be able to see each other every day. Won't be able to hear, you guys make jokes or roast me in the comments or whatever. So it's gonna be an adjustment. It's gonna be kind of sad not seeing the same faces, especially growing up in this area. You see the same faces for 12 years, and now you got to move on. But it's also an opportunity. You get to meet people from all over the country, all over the world with vast interests. And it's an opportunity to just make new connections.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss the boys.
Yeah, always remember the boys.
We'll meet up though. We'll come back hopefully. Winter break, spring break. Even if people are going kind of far away, there's always those times that will overlap, and we'll be back in town.
Sure.
All right. So before we wrap up, I wanted to hit you with some speed round questions, Alex.
Okay.
So I have 10 questions for you, and you have to answer them in 5 seconds or less.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Need like a little stretch or something?
Yeah. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. All right, here you go. One favorite type of music?
EDM, I guess.
Favorite food?
Rice.
Favorite color?
Black.
Do you have any pets?
A dog and fish.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a brother and a sister.
Wait, you have a sister?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
It's a half sister, but she lives in Boston right now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She's like
Right.
she's in mid-20s right now.
Yeah. All right. Favorite TV show?
Oh shoot, I don't know, Pokemon.
Celebrity crush.
Oh shoot, Madison Beer.
That's the
Let's
right
go.
answer. That's the
Yeah.
right answer.
That's
That's
the
the right
right
answer.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Didn't even have to
Alright.
prompt him on that one. He just said that on his own.
Yeah. Number 8. What do you want to do in the future?
Financial advisor.
Number 9. Do you have any senior year advice?
Relax.
That's it.
That's it.
Relax.
All right. And then number 10. What's one fun fact about yourself?
I don't know. Cool.
That is a fact, not an opinion. That's a fact.
Okay. All right. So now is the Instagram section. I go on your Instagram and then you have to give me some context on the picture that I pull up.
Bet.
His Instagram is dry.
Yeah,
Oh,
All right. So you only have one picture.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to give me some context on what this is?
All right. So I was just basically at Panama and I was bored. And so I just filmed a quick edit. And that was actually when I first started editing. And so sharing that and everyone was, complimenting on that post. So I was
That's
like,
really
maybe,
cool, man.
yeah,
It's cool,
I was
right?
thinking about like, maybe I should start doing more of this because it's kind of fun.
Are you
About
playing
the picture,
football?
though. Yeah, the football.
You have it in the water.
Yeah.
What's up with
Dude,
that?
I was like, yo, Will, and my brother, I was like, yo, Will, take this pic for me. And I took a quick pic. Water, and I was like, I bet. I posted it.
So you're not actually throwing the football. You're just posing.
Nah, I was posing.
So wait,
That's
no,
funny.
I wanna see this. Alex, you're a lefty, right?
Yeah, I'm a lefty. Yeah, that's weird.
So why is if you look at the orientation of this picture, you should be throwing it like the other way.
Chill, man.
He's throwing it like a righty. Yo, expose.
Like his left hand is on the laces, right? But then he's throwing it like a right.
I just like to look good in the pic, all right?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, that's unfair. I need to do one more. Let's see. Should I do the homecoming one or something else?
Oh, the home.
Oh, you wanted to tag?
Freshman, man, you pulled me out. I'm getting exposed, but freshman year, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, and I guess I'll reflect on that. But yeah, freshman year.
It's a mistake. Oh my god.
She doesn't
Yeah.
watch this, dude. I hope she doesn't.
You hope she doesn't watch it?
It was a good experience. All right, it was something I learned, and hopefully I'll make it better later on.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's see. Looks like you guys have a senior panoramic here. It says Fix 2K20.
Oh, thanks, 2K. So like, yeah. A lot of my friends play 2K. I don't play it personally, but they play it, and I heard that the servers were pretty bad, so that's why I just joined the group, and then we just made a Fix 2K thing. Yeah.
All right, I see a picture here. It looks like you guys are at the Capitol and you're all holding some pink cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when we got into the Supreme Court. That was a good experience. That was a good lifetime experience. It's something I wouldn't do again, but like it's something it's good to know.
What time did you have to wake up for that? Because you're probably like accustomed, right? Like you're like 3 o'clock. Let's go, bet.
Yeah, it was about. I mean, I think I met Jason like 4:20.
Just want to put this out there. Alex was actually the last person to get there.
Dude, oh my god.
Wow.
He made us wait. He made us wait.
Nah. So Jason, we were parked at the Oakton lot, and then Jason was like, we should probably let's find somewhere else to park, and then it was like another 30 minutes just to find a parking spot. But I mean, at least we got there and we got the ticket, so it doesn't matter at the end.
Yeah, we got lucky. They we got there at around 7, I would say.
Yeah.
We got there like it was pretty early, but like even when we got there was a line of 60 people were waiting outside, and 50 people were already let in.
Mm-hmm.
So they already had they were already half capacity when we got there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
I think this was fun. Like, this is a great experience for all of us, and it's great talking to someone after a long time staying at home by myself. So, thanks for inviting me, Jason. I really appreciate it.
Shout out your YouTube right now. Plug yourself.
Yeah, plug it.
My YouTube is Alex Phan, and you can check me out. I'm probably posting another video like tomorrow, so hit me up there, and see you guys soon.
All right, go check him out. Go check out Chandroy
I follow him.
on Instagram, maybe on Snapchat if you're a single jacked Indian guy. But that's gonna do it for today's episode. If you like it, make sure you drop a comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Stay positive, stay healthy.